Right, everybody, welcome back. It is January 13th, 2019, 8:29 p.m. All right, and we're still dealing with Winter Storm Gia. Washington, D.C., you are actually probably the last to get hit pretty hard with this storm as it's finally making its way out to the Atlantic Ocean. Northeast, you wanted your snow, and it looks like you're going to get it. And it's going to be soon. So we have two situations developing now, and one of them is actually a weather statement coming out of California. There is a big moisture storm, a low pressure system in the Pacific right now, making its way towards California, and then it's going to wipe right up the coast, up towards Alaska, but not before it dumps a massive amount of rain in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Basically, mountain range that runs from Redding, California, all the way down almost to the northern tip of Los Angeles. You can see here, I have it highlighted. You can see it's highlighted on Google Earth right there. That's the Sierra Nevada mountain range. You can see the campfire was basically at the northern end of this, and the Whistling Hill fire was like 3/4 down, but that is the Sierra Nevada mountain range there, and it actually affects our weather, believe it or not. When we have storms that come in through California, this mountain range actually can cause differences in weather changes depending on what's going on, whether it's a drop from the top or if it's a system that's coming in from the south and up into California from the south in through Nevada. As we all know, a lot of our moisture comes from the Pacific across Mexico into Texas. That is going to be one of these situations, and the reason that this is so important is because of the amount of rain they're expecting. You can see down here in Yosemite, 5 to 7.5 inches of rain. That was before, or after rather, this article came out. Now read this. Significant snow accumulations are possible in the mountains above 5,000 feet Tuesday night and above 6,000 feet on Wednesday night. I'm going to tie this all together for you guys. This is just explaining what's going to happen in the mountains there. The heaviest amounts are expected to fall Wednesday night and Thursday, where 3 to 4 feet of snow could fall near major pass levels. They're talking about the Sierra Nevada mountain passes. The windy conditions will occur in the mountains as each of the last two systems move into Northern California. So this is two systems now, and this was before they put out this chart here, which is actually almost doubling the amount of rain they were talking about. So take that 3 to 4 feet and make it 6 or 7 feet. We all know that an inch of rain, when it's cold enough, could be a foot of snow. So you got 5 to 7 inches in Yosemite mountain range, which could easily dump 6 feet of fresh powder. That's not very uncommon at all. The reason that this is significant is because what it's going to do after it moves through California and into Nevada, and then we get to ground zero, which is basically Kentucky and Missouri when it comes to winter storms. So let's take a look at that, and you can already see that this storm, they've already got it coming in a little bit from the Southern California area, maybe mid-California coming into Nevada, and then that's when it's all going to start blowing up. So we have this thing coming in. In fact, I'm going to show you on windy.com right here. I'm going to backtrack to today, and we're going to look at exactly how this is going to happen. Sorry, just had to get a line there. So here we are. We are lined up for basically today, Sunday the 13th. We got this one swirl going on here. This is actually going to be part one of the system. If you remember in this article here, they talked about two parts of this storm beginning Monday. So we are starting the watch on Monday. Monday will begin the period of active weather with the heaviest precipitation likely between Tuesday and Thursday. Moderate to locally heavy rainfall across valley locations. So in the valleys, of course, we're talking rain, California, warm weather, but the mountains, that's a different story. So that's why I'm highlighting Yosemite and parts of the Sierra Nevadas, because this is actually giving us a preview of what to expect as far as moisture when it's moving across the rest of the country, right along the I-70 corridor. Once again, it's going to go through Missouri, and then the Northeast is right in target of this thing. Now, I posted yesterday, almost as a joke, this freeze frame here from Tropical Tidbits saying coming to a theater near you. We actually talked about this a few days before this post even, and this thing was way out here in the ocean, and every day it's creeping more and more into the U.S., and now when we take a look at it, actually, as I said, I'll show you on windy.com first. Here is Winter Storm Gia. As you can see, it's leaving out into the Atlantic. We are fast forward now to Monday. Now watch what happens as I move forward with this chart. You can see Monday, as I said in the article, you see the moisture moving up into about central California at that point. As we get into Tuesday, it gets a little heavier. You could see some of those reds in there. Again, as these hit the Sierras, it turns into snow. Those higher elevations are snow. Again, I'm using this as a basically an explanation of the moisture and what's going to happen with this massive amount of moisture. And now by Wednesday, you start to see what's happening here. And this is a big, big low pressure system that is going to smash right into Central California, ride right up through Oregon and Washington. So we will, I'm sure, see plenty of snow up in the mountains there as well. But the main thing here is the amount of moisture that's getting pushed into California, that big snow dump that we're going to have in the Sierra Nevada mountains. And then once the highs and lows start mixing and we get to ground zero, which is right around here, that's where you're going to see this storm begin. And by ground zero, I mean the central states here is where usually these systems meet up and then decide whether or not they're going to go up to the northeast like a nor'easter situation, or if they're going to stay flat along that I-70 interstate like we just saw. Rarely do we see the storms come down this deep as far as snowstorms, but then again, we are in an El Nino, so we could be seeing snow in the Panhandle later on in the year. I don't know about this particular storm. This looks like a northeast storm to me, but the point of the matter is that Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, you guys are going to be right in line of this one as well before the northeast. So this is basically a warning for the Sierra Nevadas. This is a warning for the people of California with the massive amount of rain that's on the way, especially in those fire areas that were just decimated by fire. Mudslides are very prone in those areas and likely expected as they've been happening already. Then we just had Gia that passed through, and now in the next couple days we're going to start seeing this accumulate and form, and you're going to see it talked about on the news. It's going to swing right down through Colorado, through the middle of the country, more than likely through St. Louis. We can even look at that right on Tropical Tidbits. In fact, let's just do that now. And you can see here is Gia saying goodbye. Finally, we'll be digging ourselves out of that one. Again, like I said, there's going to be a little bit of dustings here and there between now and next Saturday. But we're talking 1 week from today, this massive wave of moisture that's hitting the Sierra Nevada mountains. You can see that deep blue right there. That is heavy, heavy snow. And then as it spreads out on Friday, you can see most of the upper west is being covered in a snowstorm. Now, I don't think this thing will be named until about this point right here. This is the separation. You can see clearly here the cold air is up, the moist, warm air down below coming from the Gulf, and that line actually comes right over almost the belly button of Missouri here. So Missouri, you could be very much involved in this. It looks more like Kansas as of this chart is going to get the heavier of the snow, but that is also western Missouri right there. So you see those deep blues. Also, don't disregard this. This is a chain of serious storms that's going to be linking from Texas all the way up through western Kentucky. That includes Tennessee, obviously Mississippi and Louisiana. This is Tornado Alley, so we don't want to leave them out of this talk. This isn't just about snowstorms, it's about weather in general. But the end result here is something pretty crazy, and that's this. Now look at how deep these blues are. This is definitely blizzard conditions. If these conditions stay as is over the next 7 days, we're going to be having a massive, massive snowstorm in the northeast, and we're talking well over a foot. Any of these areas of that dark blue, that's well over a foot. And then when you have the low pressure that is over the ocean and half over land, it's almost a fuel source. What it does is it's pulling moisture from the Atlantic Ocean back into the U.S. So it's a counterclockwise system, just like hurricanes are. And anything that's being pulled back into that cold air is just recycled moisture that then turns into snow. So you could see how even this thing affecting the Great Lakes could bring lake effect snow, and we all know what lake effect snow does. It basically multiplies anywhere else by like 10. Watertown, Buffalo, you guys are next to Lake Erie, I believe, near Erie, New York, and that's why this area always gets slammed with these storms, and we're seeing it earlier this season. If you guys remember March of last year, we had those 4 nor'easters, one a week, 4 in a row. That was unreal, and this is turning out to look like just like one of those. In fact, this graphic is just amazing. Like, you don't get colors like this often on Tropical Tidbits unless you're dealing with like hurricanes and stuff like that. So just check that out. You could see the movement. We're going to go through it fully once again. You could watch as the first wave hits the Sierra Nevada mountains in southern to mid-California. It blankets this whole area in snow, and then the jet stream and the other flows of moisture come in. It all meets right here in the middle, and then gets pushed across Missouri, and then boom, right up to the northeast. And it's pretty dramatic. And You could see it with your own eyes. Look at these different severe weather situations going on there. The deep blues we just talked about. And then, boom, low pressure system right over North Texas. That is when this thing becomes a winter storm. It definitely covers enough area, definitely in the path of enough people. More than likely will be Winter Storm Harper. I don't see this thing right here being Winter Storm Harper this coming Friday. It's going to be actually Saturday night into Sunday is when the real snow is going to start for the Northeast and even anywhere from St. Louis in our typical states from GIA, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. You are all involved in this too. It's not just a Northeast storm. It's a big storm. So, but the worst of it being in the Northeast as we have that low pressure and the nor'easter shape is what I wanted to point out to you. When we're dealing with nor'easters, we're dealing with heavy winds, blizzard conditions, and massive amounts of snow. So anytime you see this tail that comes up from the Gulf, that is warm, moist air, that is fuel for this low pressure system. And all it's doing, like I said, is it's bringing that stuff right back into the U.S. As snow because of the massive dips in the jet stream. Thank you to the El Nino that is causing all this to happen. But that it's happening this soon in the season is what's kind of scary to me, because if this happens every week for the rest of winter, people are going to start changing their addresses. Let's just put it that way. So that's the warning, guys. I'm putting this out there early. I know we still have a week to go. Things may change, but certainly worth reporting. You could see this thing moves across the U.S. very, very quickly, basically in a 2-day period. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, and then Monday. Parts of Maine and Massachusetts, we could be dealing with some serious, serious weather off the coast of the Northeast here. So, all right, guys, enough rambling from me. Once again, there's Gia right there, and it could be the beginning of Harper right here. More than likely, this is going to be a major storm, especially if they're putting out advisories already for California and the Sierra Nevada mountains. This is a big system. You could see it. It's clear as day. This thing it looks like a monster. It looks just like a hurricane coming in just in the opposite direction. Usually you see these things coming up this way or coming from this area and then out this way, not this way. So that's why this is so important. But there you have it, guys. That's all I got for you for now. I have an earthquake update coming in shortly, so stay tuned, and thank you guys for listening. We will talk soon. Bye-bye.